Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our journey through the Scriptures. It's great to have you with us as we dive into the book of Joshua, chapters 13 and 14. If you've been following along, you know we've witnessed incredible victories and the fulfillment of God's promises. Now, we're at a pivotal moment, a transition from conquering the land to possessing it. So, let's set the scene. In chapter 13, the Lord speaks to Joshua. He says, "You are now very old, and there are still very large areas of land to be taken over." It's a powerful and humbling moment. Joshua, the mighty warrior, is reminded that his work is nearing its end, but God's plan is far from finished. This is a beautiful lesson for all of us. Our individual roles are temporary, but we are part of a much larger, ongoing story that God is writing. God then outlines the remaining land to be conquered. He's incredibly specific, listing the regions of the Philistines, the Geshurites, and all the way up to the territory of the Sidonians. It's a detailed map, a clear blueprint. What does this tell us? It shows that God has a specific, detailed inheritance planned for his people. He doesn't just promise blessings vaguely. He has a precise inheritance in mind for each of us. Even though the task seemed daunting, God's promise was the guarantee. He didn't say, "Try to take this land if you can." He said, "This is the land I will drive out before the Israelites." His power, not their own, was the key to their inheritance. Then we see the distribution of the land east of the Jordan, which Moses had already assigned to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. It's a reminder of past faithfulness and promises kept. However, one group is singled out, the Levites. They received no territorial inheritance. Why? Because the Lord himself was their inheritance. They were set apart for priestly service, to minister to God and his people. This is a profound concept. While land and possessions are blessings, the greatest inheritance we can ever have is God himself. A close, personal relationship with our Creator is a treasure beyond compare. Now let's move into chapter 14. This is where one of the most inspiring figures in the Old Testament steps forward: Caleb. The leaders of the tribe of Judah approach Joshua, and Caleb speaks up. He takes us back 45 years, to the time when he and Joshua were two of the 12 spies sent into Canaan. 10 spies came back with a report of fear, focusing on the giants and the fortified cities. But Caleb and Joshua saw things through the eyes of faith. Caleb reminds Joshua of his words back then: "The land on which your feet have walked will be your inheritance." He had a promise from God, and he held on to it for 45 long years. Think about that. 45 years of wandering in the desert, of waiting, of trusting. He didn't grow bitter or doubtful. His faith remained strong. And then Caleb delivers one of the most powerful declarations of faith in the Bible. He says, "So here I am today, 85 years old. I am still as strong today as the day Moses sent me out. I'm just as vigorous to go out to battle now as I was then." At 85, when most would be thinking of retirement, Caleb is asking for a new challenge. He doesn't ask for a peaceful valley or a quiet retirement spot. "No," he says, "now give me this hill country that the Lord promised me on that day." The very place that terrified the other spies, the territory of the Anakites, the giants. That's what Caleb wants. Caleb's faith wasn't a passive belief. It was an active, mountain-moving trust in God's power. He knew that with God, his age was just a number, and the giants were just an obstacle to be overcome. So Joshua blessed Caleb and gave him Hebron as his inheritance. What a powerful story of persistent faith. Caleb teaches us that God's promises don't have an expiration date. He challenges us to never let our age, our circumstances, or the giants in our lives keep us from claiming the inheritance God has for us. Like Caleb, let's be people who say, "Give me this mountain." Thank you so much for joining me today to explore these incredible chapters. Caleb's unwavering faith is a timeless inspiration for us all. If this message encouraged you, Please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss our next study. We'd love to have you in our community. God bless, and we'll see you next time.